What we're going to try to do is give very specific tips and things that you can walk away with and use. This is not a fluffy panel, these women are all very much experts in their areas that we're going to be addressing.
My name is Debra.
Rewind.
I grew up in the Midwest. I started out in children's marketing, well, entertainment marketing at Orion Pictures, and then product placement, and then started my own CD-ROM company called Cloud9 for children's education. So during that time, do you remember the CD-ROM era? Jan Davidson started her company, and I was on the cutting edge back then when it was CD-ROMs. Then I went to Digital Domain, and I was president of the interactive group where we did the special effects for the Titanic and all those other movies. So that really was cutting edge with the robots and everything else, and rendering water, etc. Then I became a VC with one of Mike Milken's groups, and we invested in entertainment media. And from there, I started a toy company, Small World Toys. Sold that and started to get more into the nonprofit. So then I was CEO of Project Access, where we fed and educated and gave scholarships to about 10,000 families. And I've moved more and more towards angel investing, philanthropy, and the foundation since then. So the softer side, and I have twins.
Great.
Wow. So there's YPO, we're all in. Then the multimedia network, it could be the real estate network. There's a new network which I'm really proud of. It's WIN, Women's International Network, because even in YPO, there are probably only 4 or 5 women per chapter, and there are 80 people in a chapter. In general, those are just general stats. So you're looking at thousands and thousands of CEOs from every country, and a very small number of women. So the women got together, and we just won the award last year because we hold conferences, we help people get on the board. So we just joined with Sheryl Sandberg of Lean In, who's COO of Facebook. And so we have a joint venture together with our Women's International Network and Lean In so that we can help others. And not just YPOers. For Lean In, you just need to be a woman who is on the rise, wants to network, wants to work with other women who want to mentor. I have 3 books, and one is in its first draft. And Julie, I really relate to you because people see me on the panel, and I could write about being an entrepreneur or getting on boards or all these different things. But because of some incidents that have happened and mentoring that I've done with teenagers, with girls, the book is actually from trauma to triumph. And it's how we can become victims and live our lives in a way that are based on things that happened in the past that have nothing to do with who we are now. So empowering. And then the other one is from disorder to order. And that's where I've been working with a lot of teenage girls and boys about eating disorders and what's behind that. And again, a lot of it is about control and self-esteem. So it's very interesting to have the side of the life, as you said, Julie, that's the CEO and has been running these companies, but then on the other side, the very human side, which is talking about how to overcome traumas. A lot of studies have been done lately, and it was in Forbes magazine, but also in many others, that women who are age 40 and over are now comprising a very large portion of the startups, whether it's agencies, whether it's product companies, whatever it is that they are. And part of that is because, I think, part of that is the internal cycle. So you have your career, you reach a certain point, you do or you don't have children, you take some time off, so you've gotten to a certain level. And then at some point, you decide that you want to work for yourself or you're in a transition. And I have met more women over the last 6 months, I'd say, to 9 months, who are in what we're all calling transition, which is, okay, what are we going to do next? We accomplished XXX, we're now this age, we've learned this, what do we really want to do? And are we really, being honest here, do we really want to compete to be EVP marketing for a company? Do we want to compete against a 25 or a 30-year-old who's very well versed in social media and everything else after we've been CEOs of some of our companies? There are a lot of different subgroups for advertising, women in advertising, but again, you don't have to do the women at all, the women thing. So there are networks like, if you go to NABO, that's women who are managers, directors, have become CEOs who also are mentoring women and helping them to get higher positions and everything else. But I would say be really careful about your brand. Make sure that you're looked at as somebody who is high quality, gets things done, smart, suits up, shows up, and really look at what your brand is, what your niche is, and then reach out to people and say, can I just spend 10 minutes with you to have coffee? And we will.
Yeah.